Your grandmother hid cash in a Maxwell House coffee can, red lid, tucked behind the cabinet above the refrigerator. She trusted banks. Sure you didn't trust Ralph Nofterich. That can was emergency money always there, never growing, waiting in the dark, for something bad to happen. That image was your entire financial education. No one said, "We are poor." No one handed you a book explaining why money would always feel dangerous. The lesson came quieter. It was in your mother's tightened jaw when the car made an unfamiliar noise. The way your father changed the subject whenever retirement came up. Every conversation about the future hit a wall, an invisible one made of habit, history, and quiet belief. That people like us don't get more than we started with. You absorbed it completely, the way children do. Money became shame before you understood what money was. You learned not to ask for things. The look on your parents' faces was worse than going without. That look taught you wanting more is risky. Ambition belongs to other people. The correct posture for someone from your background is gratitude, not hunger. For years you believed it. The ceiling was invisible because no one ever pointed at it. You simply grew until you hit it, then stopped because that's what everyone around you had done, but something felt wrong, a low static in your chest. The map didn't match the terrain under your feet. The rules seemed real, just not for everyone. Then one day, something cracked. You're 17 or 22. The age doesn't matter. The moment does. You're in a break room, on a bus, or in your childhood bedroom at midnight with a laptop glowing on your face. You read something, see something, or meet someone, and a single thought hits you with quiet force. These people didn't start with more than me. They just decided the ceiling wasn't real. That thought is either the best thing that will revant you, or the villain probably but. Opting out of the script you inherited doesn't feel like empowerment. It feels like vertigo. Like stepping off a ledge with no idea if there's ground below. You start reading obsessively, but you tell no one. Your family's immune system attacks ambition like a foreign body. Your cousin tried a business once. They called him delusional until he quit, then praised him for being smart enough to stop. You stay quiet. You fill notebooks with ideas that feel both obvious and impossible. You try your first thing. It fails fast or limps along and dies. Either way, you tried. That alone puts you ahead of everyone, still saying I should have, and I almost did. But separation has a price, and the invoice is coming. 2 or 3 years in. Your bank account shows almost nothing for the hours you've invested. This is the part every success story skips: the ugly, slow, unsexy middle. You're tired in a way sleep can't fix. You keep doing the same thing that still isn't working, while your friends live normal, restful lives that start to look almost glamorous from where you stand. They stop inviting you out, not out of malice, just because they've stopped expecting you to say yes. Your family asks questions with an edge. When is this going to become something real? They're not hoping you fail. They're scared for you, and scared people grow impatient. You take a real loss, months of savings gone. You sit with that exact humiliating number and wonder what it says about you. At 3 a.m., the voice that sounds like every doubter gets loud and reasonable. Nobody from where you're from has done this. That's not coincidence. That's data. You sit with it. Then you get up anyway. Not because you're special or have some rare mindset. You get up because going back is no longer an option. The version of you that accepted the ceiling is gone. You burned that floor behind you. You keep going, but you're harder now, quieter. The gap between what's in your head and what your loved ones can understand has grown, too wide for casual conversation. Loneliness settles in like sediment. Still, something is starting to work. You can feel it before you can measure it. It's not $1 million, not even close, but it's real and it's yours. Maybe your side income finally covers rent. Maybe a stranger pays you for something you created. Maybe a number appears in your account that would have looked like a typo 2 years ago. It arrives on an ordinary Tuesday. You stare at it longer than you should, then close the laptop and go to bed. There's no one to call who would truly understand what it cost to get here. That first win changes something deep. Before, you knew the ceiling was breakable in your head. Now you know it's in your bones. The fear shifts too. You're no longer afraid it will never work. You're afraid it will work and then disappear. You become protective. You don't talk about it. You reinvest everything and stay deliberately uncomfortable because you've learned comfort is where momentum dies. The first win is proof. Keep going. One ordinary Wednesday, the number's clear. 7 figures. Your name, your account. You checks twine, open nita gain. Nipted fireworks are deep exal proof. Instead, it's profoundly quiet. No one in your bloodline has ever stood here. There's no shared language for this in your family. You call your mother, talk for 20 minutes, and never mention the number. You don't know how to say it without sounding like you're on one side of a river and she's on the other. The money solves old problems and instantly reveals new ones. Taxes, structures, protection, investments, none of which were taught in the house with the coffee can above the fridge. Becoming a millionaire isn't the end of your financial education. It's the beginning of a much harder one. You realize you are no longer the same person, yet you still come from the same place. Those two truths now have to live inside you together, and the tension is heavier than the grind ever was. You go home for the holidays. Same house, same smell in the walls. Same uneven table with a folded napkin. Same loud television. Everything is identical, yet there's a gap now. Not in love you love them as fiercely as ever, maybe more. The gap is between the life you left and the life you're living. You feel it like a change in air pressure. You pay for dinner, they say you didn't have to. You say you wanted to. A small silence follows, uncomfortable and brief, then everyone moves on. Old friends drift. Some grow quiet around you, self-conscious. Others grow louder, testing for the old version of you. When they can't find him, the connection frays. One childhood friend makes a joke heavy with resentment. Neither of you addresses it. The calls become less frequent. You also lose people who can't handle the version of you that stopped shrinking. Relationships that worked at the old altitude start to buckle. You grieve these losses quietly. You don't have the words for them, and you can't explain without sounding arrogant that success can isolate you, the same way failure does. Then there's the specific guilt, watching your mother still worry about money. Money you could fix with one check, but not knowing how to do it without breaking something irreversible between you. The guilt of surviving what wasn't supposed to be survived. You carry it. You get used to the weight. There is real freedom now. You can say yes to things you once had to refuse. You sleep without the constant hum of financial dread. You can help people with resources, not just words. You can give your children or future children a completely different starting line. That alone makes every 3 a.m. moment worth it. But freedom doesn't cancel the weight. You are the first. There is no map. No one can tell you how to hold this, how to protect it, or how to pass it on so it outlasts you. You're designing the blueprint while living inside the building. You think about what you want to give your kids. Security without removing all hunger, foundation without killing the fire. You don't know how to do it yet. You're figuring it out in real time. Your family looks at you with pride, real, chest-swelling pride. But the dynamic has shifted. You've become the one they call for advice, decisions, problems. You are the authority now, even though you still feel new at this. In the quiet early mornings, before the day begins, you feel it, a weight that has no clean name. The weight of being the one who made it. The weight of a family tree that finally stops bending at you. The weight of knowing everything you build now echoes into lives that don't yet exist. You didn't just break the ceiling for yourself. You removed it for everyone who comes after. They will look up and see open sky and assume that's how the sky has always been. They'll never know about the coffee can, the tight jaws, the invisible wall, or the lonely milestones. With no reference point. And that's exactly right. That's the whole point. You didn't do this for recognition. You did it so the next generation doesn't have to start where you did. Generational wealth isn't a number in an account. It's a different starting line. You built it from nothing, from a coffee can, from tight jaws, from love that only knew how to build certain walls. You took the invisible ceiling and turned it into the floor. The view from here is heavier, quieter, and more real than you ever imagined. And you wouldn't trade it for any easier version.